That's not what most of the public wanted to hear. This man was evil, they said. He deserved to die. The lead prosecutor for the case was Ronald W. Tocherman, and he didn't care much for the defense's plea of not guilty by reason of insanity. He wanted the death penalty for this man who the public was now calling the Vampire of Sacramento. He argued Chase had brought rubber gloves to the scene of his murder, so he planned them as a sane killer might have done. He knew what he was doing. The defense argued back that everything in his profile showed he had a serious mental illness. He hadn't even hidden his crimes, walking around all day covered in blood as people tried to ignore him. He was in effect an invisible killer, an American psycho ignored by his family, his friends, and the state. Chase was almost certainly insane, but the jury saw him as responsible for his actions. After 5 hours of deliberation, on May 8, 1979, they returned a verdict of 6 counts of first-degree murder. It was determined that this so-called vampire's life should end in the gas chamber at San Quentin Penitentiary. However, Chase would ultimately escape the death penalty. At 11:05 a.m. on December 26, 1980, prison guards found Chase dead in his cell. He had overdosed on a drug prescribed for his depression and hallucinations. Nearby, they discovered papers covered in enigmatic code, leaving behind one final mystery. Dracula was dead, but his case lived on, becoming a textbook example for the FBI of a disorganized killer.